I'm 6 years old, and I'm sitting at a window admiring an amazing thunderstorm when a bolt of lightning hits a tree 50 feet from my face. Since that very moment, I became obsessed with an idea of creating even a bigger effect. When I was a teenager at school, I learned all about liquids and gases. Two of my friends and I decided to build a steam cannon. We found a huge metal pipe, about 15 feet long, 8 inches in diameter, with very thick walls. I had a welding set, and I welded one end off, and I welded the mounting brackets, and it was time to do some steam cannon shooting. It was a beautiful summer day of 1980, the day just before the Olympic Games started in Moscow. We loaded this humongous thing on a small tractor my friend had, and we went to the forest. It was a beautiful forest with pine trees, tall and gorgeous and beautiful. And we had found a clearing in the forest, and combination of three tree stumps to mount our cannon. Next thing was to arm it. We used a few gallons of water as a fuel, and for the shell we used 6 feet long piece of hardwood, cylindrical piece of hardwood. We hammered it with a sledgehammer into the barrel. We left about 2 feet outside, and we made it on cone, so it looks like a missile. Next, we mounted this thing on the stumps and aimed it. I aimed it at a tree about 300 feet away, but I didn't know the exact trajectory because I didn't know how much force this thing would exert. But from the physics, I knew that everything that comes from the ground goes back to the ground. And I assumed that would be the trajectory. Next, we put a lot of firewood under and on top of the barrel. We poured a gallon of gasoline and we lit it up. Adrenaline rush, blood pumping. We jumped on the tractor and we drove away a few hundred feet away to hide in a ditch. We're hiding there and looking for this thing. As the fire starts building up and building up. No, I didn't expect that. The outer part of the shell started catching on fire. We didn't know what to do. But we knew that the forest that we were aiming at was used to collect pine sap, very highly flammable material. Not only that, but the forest floor was covered with pine needles, and the weather was very hot and windy. We're standing there, paralyzed, and this thing, just like that. Except for the cloud. Our cloud was white because of the steam. And you know what? We missed the target tree. The blow was so strong, the shell went right straight and hit a tree behind the target tree. No, it didn't split it. It broke it. It didn't only break it, it knocked it over, and falling, this tree started piling on other trees, creating a domino effect. 5, 10, 20 trees piling on each other, creating a lot of noise and dust. I thought it felt like the world comes to an end, and we're standing there completely petrified and paralyzed. And that's the time when I noticed flames started to develop in the wreckage. We had only one idea: to run as fast and as far as we could. We jumped on the tractor and we drove away. The fire started to rage. 5,000 people were putting this fire for 2 weeks. 10,000 acres of the finest heavy timber was burned to the ground. The government didn't disclose it to the world because of the Olympic Games. They didn't want the world to know that the country is under attack. I think because of that, they didn't do extensive investigation, and we were not found. If we were found, all our families and us would be sent to a prison or to Gulag. I created that effect, and with all its consequences, I started seeing horrible nightmares. And all of that was the reason why I left Russia. But I still see those nightmares. And I have never told this story to anyone before, even to my wife. And telling this story today, I'm hoping for those nightmares to go away.